Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, today we'll start our next chapter that is related to entrepreneurship. First of all, when we talk about entrepreneurship, so what is entrepreneurship? Actually, when entrepreneurship is an activity of setting up a business or businesses. Taking on financial risk in hope of earning profit. So actually, this is an activity in which different businesses are started, and by starting the business, the person that is called as entrepreneur who is performing this entrepreneurship activity will have to bear certain risk, and he has to find out certain opportunities which have risk, but it can give you a valuable profit as well. So entrepreneurship an activity in which the entrepreneur will start a certain arrangement or perform certain activities for initiation or development of a business. Now, entrepreneurship, when we talk about entrepreneurship, it is both the study of how new businesses are created, as well as the actual process of starting a new business. This term can be used interchangeably. It can be used as a how new business can be started and what would be the actual process of starting the whole new business. And an entrepreneur is someone who has an idea and who works to create a product or service that people will buy by building an organization to support those sales. So obviously, the process of entrepreneurship is adopted by an entrepreneur because he's a person who thinks that he can bear the risk. He thinks that the opportunity is well deserving, and they can get a reasonable amount of profit by opting for that opportunity. And by doing so, he will go and start initiating the process of starting the business, and they'll buy certain products, services. They will hire people and build and acquire a building and organize and the whole business and start operating all the activities of the business in order to generate sales. And with the help of that sales, he will try to fulfill his expensive and generate profit. So all the process which is called as entrepreneurship process is done by an entrepreneur who has a capability, skill, and forecasting ability to perform all the entrepreneurship process. When the person want to be an entrepreneur, there are certain characteristics which should be present in a person who want to become an entrepreneur. First of all, your personal interest. Like when we look into the entrepreneurship process, so it is not an easy process. It's a process which has many hardship. You have to go through many when there are times you have to be to do work for 24 hours or more than that, and or when that time you lose money. So there are many hardships in performing this entrepreneurship process. So when you want to be an entrepreneur, it's very important that you have a passion for being an entrepreneur, you have a personal interest, and you are very much dedicated for your own development. So then you will be able to perform all the activities of an entrepreneur. Then customer relationship, because when you are entering into a business, what you are doing is you are actually finding customer for your product, because you want to increase your sale, you want to grab a market. So if you have a long-term relationship with your customer, like the not other the there are the customer are the people who buy your product. And if you make them sure that you care for them, you'll go for personal visits, and you will go for checking whether your product is doing well with the customer and helping them installing and many other activities, activities like maintenance and giving suggestions to certain products of your certain products which your customer is buying. So it will help you build a long-term relationship with your customer, and it can be helpful in increasing your sale and sustaining the amount of sales which you are currently generating. Then another thing is desire to establish your own business Obviously, entrepreneurship is a process through which you are developing new businesses. So when you have a passion and you have a strong desire to establish your own business, so obviously you will be able to perform the entrepreneurial activities. And another thing that is very much important is need of control. Control is actually as a managerial function which help to minimize the deviation. Like when you are performing entrepreneurial activities, or so in that case you are dealing with different kind of resources, and that might be your physical resources, that might be your human resources, that might be your financial knowledge resources. So it is very important to control all these resources, um, and deal with all these resources in a very beneficial manner. And once you have developed plan regarding the resource employment and all, and performance and activities, so you have to have a control on all the activities, all the plans for completion of your entrepreneurial process, and doing all the activities in a best manner possible. Then another thing is ability to deal with uncertainty, because you are in a world where you have to be cautious about your internal and external environment. And as we have discussed, when we talk about external environment, it's not under the control of the business. So you have to make sure that all the uncertainties, all the threats, or all the opportunities in the market are well identified. But there are certain times when uncertainties are not, or risks are not identified. So the entrepreneurship yeah, one of the entrepreneurial characteristic is that you must have a capability to deal with uncertain situation. Like currently we have a pandemic situation which is damaging and which is affecting many businesses. So how you are dealing with such a type of uncertainties while you are doing business? If you have ability to deal all these uncertainty, so you will become a very good entrepreneur. Now, the business plan. When we talk about a business plan is a document which contains the objective of the business and ways to achieve these objectives. Actually, it's a formal written document containing business goal, the method, and how these goals can be attained, and the time frame within which these goals need to be achieved. It also describes the nature of the business, the background information on the organization finance and projections, and the strategies it intends to implement to achieve the stated targets. It is actually entirely it is, covers all the roadmap that provide direction to the business. So it is actually a very valuable document when you are planning a business, because it contains all the details regarding your business which you are planning to start. Now, components of business plan. As we have discussed that business plan contains different details of your business, that what you are intending to do, your vision statement, your mission statement, your marketing mega concept, and different other things. So when we talk about components of a business plans, there are actually two situations when you are setting up a business or starting a business. First thing is that you buy a business. That means the business already exists, it is a whole full setup, and it's ongoing, it's generating sales and all those things, and they are in a working condition. So you will buy already ongoing business. Or the second situation is that you start from a scratch. That means the business doesn't exist, you have to gather all the resources, whether they are physical resources, financial resources, informational resources, human resources. You have to gather all these resources and you have to combine them and start doing business from a very start. So for that you have to put extraordinary effort in order to get the business started and get to combining all the resources and everything. So first of all, in these two situations, you have to make different kinds of plan. First of all, when you are developing a business plan, you have to identify your objectives, that what are long-term and short-term objective you are going to achieve with that business, what amount of profit, what markets you are going to achieve, what type of product you want to offer in the market, what type of customer you will be targeting. So all these objectives are there in your business plan. Then second thing is your marketing concept. So far we haven't done done about marketing. So actually marketing is a field which actually provide products or develop products according to needs and wants of the people. It is mostly concerned with the marketing research, identifying needs of the customers, and then developing a certain product, and what kind of products you'll be developing, the quality, the packaging, the labeling, and all those things associated with that. Then the pricing strategies, because in every market you have different people with different purchasing power and different needs, different kind of desires, different kinds of needs. So how you will be tackling, or how you will developing the pricing strategies for different markets. Then the third thing is that what would be your promotional strategy, because one of the aspect of marketing is that once you have developed a product or service, whatever, and then you have developed a properly detailed pricing strategy. The third thing is that you have to inform your customer about your product. So there are different aspects related to your promotion, like advertising, sales promotion, and your personal selling and publicity. So what kind of promotional strategy you will be developing for your business. And the last thing is your physical distribution, because your product is there, your pricing strategy is well identified, you have informed your customer, but how you will reach your customer, how will customer going to get your product. So that promotion strategy is that physical distribution strategy is very important. Nowadays in the wake of pandemic, many shops are closed, many other activities are hampered. So in that case, you can go for online shopping, online um, online selling, and also home delivery and all those things. So you have to identify your marketing concept as such. Then your financial components, that what would be your because when you are going to start your business, you have to have money, you have to have capital for your business. So what amount of capital would be generated by from your own sources, what amount of capital would be generated from different other resources like loans and like many other things. So you have to and what type of assets you'll be going to acquire with your limited resources, how you're going to manage all your resources, how you're going to you're going to distribute profit among your shareholders, and everything is being identified in the financial components. Now we will be discussing the components of a business plan, as when you are starting your business from a scratch, or very starting your business from a very start, as you are not buying an ongoing business, you are developing your own business. So first of all, you have to identify the objective of the business. And what would be the objective is that first of all you have to identify that what is the name of your business, because it's something very much important, it's your identity in the market. So you have to identify that what would be the proposed name of your business. Name should indicate the types of business. Obviously, if you are starting a furniture shop, so obviously you have to identify that in your name, or you are starting an online service or any other thing. So you have to develop, or you have to give such a name to your business that it would indicate that what type of business you are. And another important aspect regarding the name is the name should be very simple. It should not be very difficult that create a problem in pronunciation or any other difficulty. And but on the other hand, when we are saying it's simple, it should be a unique one, because it should differentiate your product from the other product, as you are, that is, the name is representing you in the market. So name should be simple, but it should be unique enough that differentiate your product from the other product. Another important thing which is very much important is a certain legal consideration, like avoid names not encouraged by law. For example, when you are using names of national heroes, a religious personality, or when you are using name as national and any other thing. So there are certain legal bindings. So first of all, find out when you are using name that whether if they are allowed in law or no, not and legal consideration regarding use of that name should be first confirmed, and after then you should declare the name of your business. Another important component of your business is that you have to identify clearly the location of your business. Like if you are operating as an online business, so obviously location is not very important. But if you are starting your business and you're opening an outlet, so obviously in that case the location is something very much important, because because that is your physical distribution center. And you have to identify, you have to clearly identify that where you should be located, because the location which be such that it would be convenient for your customer, and not only that, it should be convenient for your supplier to hand over the products. And the location should be such that it can attract maximum number of your customer. And many other considerations should be there when you are going to decide the location of your business, like your the outlet of your competitors and many other things, the market structure and everything should be identified. And then after that you should declare the location of your business in the business, and should be mentioned into your business plan. Another important component or a part is that you have to give detail about your marketing aspect. Like I have discussed with you that when you are going to explain or to write about your marketing aspect, so you have to consider about your product, service, or anything which you are offering to the market, then their pricing and their physical distribution and their promotion. So before that, it's very important that you should identify that who will be the customer of your business. That when you are developing a product, so what are the most probable customer who will going to purchase your products, or you are satisfying needs and wants of which category of people in the market. So you have to identify that. Then you have to identify the location of your business, that where can they get your product, or they can avail the services of your product, and what would customer like to pay for the products or services. It's also something very much important, because when you are offering your product in the market, and obviously you will be giving it a price. So according to the purchasing power of your customer, according to the economic condition of that market, you can offer a specific price which would be feasible for that market. So obviously you will be telling the product, the price of your product, and what are the benefits the customer are expected from the product or services. Obviously when you buy certain products, you are not buying product, but you are buying the benefits or experiences or from that product. So that should be clearly identified. That would be actually, these are the main features, these are the major deliverables of your product or service which you are offering to the market. So that should be very much clearly identified in your marketing part. Another thing is analysis of your customer, because when you are working in a market, when you are entering in the market, you have to see that what are the most probable competitor in your market, and what is the nature of competition in the market, because there are certain products for which you can face a lot of competition. Like nowadays when you come up with certain mobile a mobile company manufacturing of a mobile phone, or when you are offering a mobile service. So in that case you will be fine, you will getting a lot of competition from your competitors. So at that time when you have a lot of competition in the market, it will automatically decrease the amount of profit you have to gain. So if when you are entering in any business, the first thing which is very much important is that you have to identify the nature of competition in the market, and that should be clearly identified in your marketing plan. And who are the competitors of the business? Like there are many competitors in the business, but you cannot only see those people who are making a like product of you. Like for example, if you are offering a furniture, so there are many other products which can fulfill the needs of your furniture. So that would also be your product, that would also be your competitors. There are many people who are already running the same kind of products, so that would also be your competitors. So you have to identify that who would be your competitors, because competitors are those people who will grab your market share. Like for if there are 100 customers in the market, in and you have only 20% of that customers, so that means you are getting a very small share of the market. So but the other part is be taken by different competitors. And when there is no chances of increasing the amount of customer, there would be a lot of competition between competitors in order to grab their market share. So you have to identify that who are your competitors in the market, and how the product of my business is different from the product of your competitors. It's something very much important, because if you are offering the same like product like your customer, like your competitors, so it would make no difference. The customer will not see any difference between your product and your competitor product. Also they'll buy your product, or they buy the competitor's product. That will not make any difference. You have to make your product differentiated from your competitor's product. That can be done with offering a product same with same feature but at lower prices. But that would be actually give a very bad impression that it might be the compromise of quality that will decrease, that you are offering that product in a lower price. So another option would be that you will provide differentiated certain features which are not in the product of your competitors at a little higher price. So depending upon the nature of the customer you have, you can offer your product, and you can differentiate your product from your competitors in order to grab maximum market share. So that thing should also be identified in your marketing part of your business plan. Now, in promotional actually part is also a part of marketing aspect, because promotion is a branch of marketing. So how are you going to inform your customer that your product exists, or how are you going to promote your product in general public? Like for example, yeah, there are different type of products which are being advertised in the market. And like for example, if you see Coke, Pepsi, so it can be associated with adventurous or fun and any other kind of entertainment activities. So you have to create an image of your product in the market. So what will you do to create a specific image in the minds of your customers or general public? And how will be the business be launched? Like what would be the probable sequence, what would be the proper method of launching your business? Like there are many businesses which are being heavily advertised before, and after that they launch the product. Or there are many products which are being launched first, and then after that they're being advertised. So what would be the probable procedure for introducing your product with the market? So that should be identified in your promotion part of your business. Then another important part is your financial part, because the financial part is related to money related activities. So it's something very much important, because these are the probable resources, and we are the financial resources which are there, and which are available for the firm, and which actually help a firm to gather its resources and make investment and do all the other activities. So first question which you should identify or should write in your business plan plan is what will be the investment of business and how much should be borrowed. That means, if you remember, I have told you that there are two type of capitals in the market, in your business. One is your own capital and the second one is your borrowed capital. So in this, first of all, you have to identify that what amount of investment would be done through owner's own funds, and how much would be borrowed from different resources in order to finance your different resources in the business, and what are going to be expected revenues in the given period of time. This is obviously very much important because all the companies planning are done based upon these expected revenues. Expected revenues is actually the future sales of the business, that when you are developing a plan, so it has certain background based upon your expected forecast, based upon your trends. You will develop a complete forecasting that in the near 5 or 6 years, what would be your expected revenues in each period of time. So that should be identified in your business plan. And what would be the expected expenses of the business in a given period of time. Like, expenses and revenues are very much important, because once you have identified your sales, you have to identify that what type of expenditure, what type of expenses you are going to incur, which include your raw material expenses, your marketing expenses, your administrative expenses, expenses regarding your utility bills, expenses regarding your payments and salaries and wages to your labor, and every other things. So what would be your probable expenses, and how you will be managed in these expenses in each period, and what would be the net income or net profit in a given period of time. The comparison between your expected revenues and expected expenses would be the probable profit or loss of the business. So based upon that, you will be identifying that what would be your expected revenues, what would be your expected expenses, and what would be your net profit in a given period of time. And after that, you will be identifying that is the business feasible or not, because if the company, according to your forecast, the company is in a position to generate enough profit, so it's feasible for the business, or is feasible for you to get indulged in that business. So that should also be identified in your business plan. After that, there is an administrative part, that what would be the structure to handle the business, that how you will be going to manage all the business, what would be the management team, and how each activities will perform, which performed by each person, how are you going to develop an organizational structure, what would be different departments, and how these departments interact with each other, and how all the activities will be performed. All the details of all these things are also identified in this business plan.